You can go down the fundamentals. You can come up with any sort of data you want to try and tell the Tesla story, but you have a hard time convincing people that regardless of that the multiple that it trades for right now can be justified in any way, shape, or form. How do you combat that argument?
Sure. Look, we upgraded based on a production argument. We've been on your show, I think it was your halftime show before, talking about that. The demand issue, the questions around demand are really what drives the multiple, though. And I think, in the last few weeks, there's been some consternation in a lower gas price environment. What does that mean for EVs and therefore Tesla? I think that misses sort of the forest through the trees. I mean, the argument here is how disruptive and in how many different ways can Tesla be disruptive to the automotive industry first, before we even get to energy storage down the road in the utility industry. So I think first and foremost for autos, it's manufacturing, it's production. They're going to be 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years ahead of most of their peers. When their peers start coming out with EVs, they're even close to the range of the current Model S, the current lineup for Tesla.
Well, I just wonder,
2017, 2018.
Well, I just wonder, Jamie, if you're 3, 4, 5 years ahead of your peers, just by virtue of a $400 price target on a stock that's still being fought about. I just wonder what your opinion was a couple weeks ago when Tesla broke below 200. Yes, it's rallied back and it's been an impressive move. What were your thoughts then?
Well, it was wildly oversold. So, and we upgraded somewhat higher than even where we are today. So I'm still incredibly bullish. I don't think any of the hype that's been out there pressuring the stock has any sort of legs or is going to have longer-term traction. And look, fast forward to the next quarter, the next 2 quarters, we're going to get a better view on production and therefore demand to some degree. I think this stock can rally very quickly into the new year. And look, maybe I am not a 2015 $400 target, but if you look to the next 3 to 5 quarters, that's really where they're going to make the money in Tesla. And it's really the anticipation for the Model 3 and rolling into really 2016.
And Jamie, how much of the China story goes into your calculus here? And obviously, you just touched on it before, the price action in crude. If you overlay it with Tesla, it's hard to say that it didn't have some sort of reaction. So we're starting to see crude at least stabilize going into year end. If crude takes another leg lower, my guess is you don't think that's impactful to Tesla. But bigger story, if China falls off a table and China growth is not where it's projected to be, how much of a story breaker is that for Tesla?
Yeah, to answer China first, it's very little in terms of our projections, next year, the year after that. I think we're still very early stages in China. They're not on a level playing field. Tesla doesn't get the EV credits that it gets elsewhere in the world in China. So there's still a little bit of an uphill climb there. Look, it's the biggest automotive market in the world. It's going to be more impactful down the road. But there's a lot of places where Tesla has significant growth. North America, Europe, moving into Australia, Japan, and elsewhere. So China doesn't have to be as impactful out of the gate, I think.